If you're serious about mobile gaming, you've probably been told you need a dedicated gaming phone. You know the ones I'm talking about, the devices with aggressive, gamer-centric designs, RGB lighting, physical triggers, and marketing that promises desktop-level performance in your palm. For years, that's been the conventional wisdom. But what if that wisdom is now completely outdated? What if, in 2025, the very concept of a gaming phone has been made obsolete by the relentless innovation of mainstream flagships? I've spent the last month testing the most hyped, dedicated gaming phones against the latest flagship smartphones from Apple and Samsung, and the conclusion I've reached is undeniable and, frankly, a little shocking. The best phone for gaming in 2025 isn't a gaming phone at all. It's a device built for a broader purpose, one that just so happens to excel so profoundly at every aspect of the gaming experience that it makes the specialists look like one-trick ponies. Today, we're dismantling the myths and looking at the cold, hard data on performance, display technology, software, and long-term value to find out what truly makes a great gaming device in the current year. Let's start with the most critical factor for any gaming experience: raw and sustained performance. This is where the myth of gaming phone superiority falls apart the fastest. Dedicated gaming phones, like the latest Asus ROG Phone or Red Magic device, come with the same top-tier chipset as the mainstream flagships, like the Snapdragon 8 Gen 4. Where they claim to differ is in cooling. They boast massive internal vapor chambers and even active cooling fans to prevent thermal throttling. And in a synthetic benchmark running for 30 minutes, they might maintain a slightly higher average frame rate. But here's the reality check and the pro tip that changes everything in real-world gaming scenarios. That difference is almost entirely negligible to the human eye. Both a well-cooled flagship and a dedicated gaming phone will run Genshin Impact or Honkai Star Rail at a stable, high frame rate. The difference between 58 frames per second and 61 frames per second is not something you can perceive during intense combat, it's just a number on a screen. Meanwhile, that active cooling fan is drawing extra power, making an annoying whirring sound, and is just one more mechanical component that can fail. The mainstream flagships in 2025 have achieved such a level of passive cooling efficiency through advanced graphite sheets and vapor chambers that they can handle extended gaming sessions without significant performance drops and, crucially, without the noise and bulk. The performance gap has effectively closed, making the core selling point of gaming phones a solution to a problem that barely exists anymore. Now, let us talk about the part of the phone you actually stare at 4 hours on end: the display. This is where mainstream flagships have not just caught up, they've lapped the competition. Dedicated gaming phones often prioritize high-touch sampling rates for faster response times, which is great, but they frequently compromise on other aspects of display quality to hit a lower price point. Compare that to the display on a Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra or an iPhone 16 Pro Max. You're re-looking at the absolute pinnacle of smartphone screen technology: brighter HDR peaks for stunning visuals in supported games, more accurate and vibrant colors, and superior viewing angles. The LTPO technology in these screens is more advanced, allowing for a variable refresh rate that seamlessly drops down to save battery during cutscenes or menus and instantly ramps up to 120 Hz during action. Many gaming phones still use older display tech that can't match this efficiency or peak brightness. When you're gaming outdoors or in a bright room, being able to actually see your screen is a lot more important than a marginally higher touch sampling rate that you can't even feel. The immersive quality of a top-tier flagship display, with its perfect colors, incredible sharpness, and dazzling brightness, contributes more to your enjoyment and even your competitive edge than any minor spec bump on a dedicated gaming phone S panel. But performance and display are only part of the story. The real killer blow for mainstream flagships comes from two areas you might not immediately consider: software optimization and long-term support. This is the insider secret that truly separates the contenders from the pretenders. Game developers optimize their titles for the largest install bases. Which devices have the largest install bases of powerful, premium phones? The iPhone and the Samsung Galaxy S series. This means that new game updates, driver-level optimizations, and bug fixes almost always arrive first and are most stable on these mainstream devices. I've consistently encountered fewer graphical glitches, crashes, and compatibility issues on an iPhone 16 Pro than on a dedicated gaming phone running a heavily forked version of Android. Furthermore, consider the long-term value. A dedicated gaming phone might get one, maybe to major Android updates if you're lucky. Your software support will be abandoned long before the hardware is obsolete. Meanwhile, Apple guarantees 5 to 6 years of iOS updates for its iPhones, and Samsung now promises 4 to 5 years of Android updates for its flagships. This means the game you buy today will still be running smoothly on your mainstream flagship 3 years from now, while the gaming phone might already be stuck on an outdated version of Android that developers no longer fully support. When you invest in a phone for gaming, you're investing in an ecosystem, and the mainstream ecosystems are simply more robust, better supported, and more future-proof. So, where does this leave the dedicated gaming phone? It's not that they're bad devices. It's that they've become overly specialized in a world where generalists have become exceptionally powerful. Their legitimate advantages, physical trigger buttons, and a sometimes lower price point, are now niche benefits rather than must-have features. The trigger buttons are fantastic, but they only work in a subset of games and can be replicated with third-party accessories if absolutely necessary. The lower price is often a trap, as you're sacrificing camera quality, software support, display technology, and build quality. In 2025, your phone is your primary computer, camera, communication device, and entertainment hub. A dedicated gaming phone forces you to make severe compromises in all those other areas for a gaming experience that is only marginally better on paper and often worse in daily practice due to software quirks. The iPhone 16 Pro or Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra offers a masterclass in balance. You get a world-class gaming machine that is also a world-class camera, a world-class media consumption device, and a device that will be supported for half a decade. The best phone for gaming is no longer the one that screams about it the loudest. It's the one that does everything so well, you forget you're even using a piece of specialized hardware. It's the quiet professional, not the loud enthusiast. And for any serious gamer looking for a device that excels today and remains relevant tomorrow, that's the only choice that makes sense.